morning. It's your girl, Camille B, the HR counselor. I am super duper excited to introduce my first HR spotlight. And I am introducing to everyone today, Miss Brenda Siri. She is the head of talent acquisition for Aventiv Technologies, which is a parent company to Securus Technologies, All Paid, and JPay. Welcome, Brenda.
Thank you, Camille. Thanks for having me.
No, I am so excited to have you here. So again, thank you so much for taking time out of your very, very busy schedule to take the time and speak with me this afternoon. And so I just want to ask a couple of questions so the audience gets to know you a little bit and also what you do. So one of the questions I want to ask is, how long have you been in HR?
So I've been in HR in a few different types of capacities for about 20 years total.
Awesome. So exciting. So how did you get into HR and talent acquisition? How did you get into this profession?
Well, does anybody ever plan on being in HR?
Really? No, I know I didn't.
Right. I mean, when I started in HR, 20 years ago, it was really different. The function of HR in companies was more of like being, a personnel administrator versus what it looks like today. So in the late 90s and early 2000s, when Monster started and became, a really popular way to start looking at hiring people, my company said, research this, learn about it, get into it. So I sort of fell into talent acquisition, right? Because back then, you'd run an ad in the newspaper, people would apply for the job, you'd read through resumes, call some people, they'd come in. But Monster really sort of opened the door to casting a wider net to be able to look at candidates and not just be reliant on people seeing your ad in the paper and mailing their resume to you. So, it was kind of I think, for most companies, that was really the transition of going from being more like personnel administrators to truly branching out and becoming more like HR departments and having true talent acquisition professionals.
That's awesome. What a great start to your career. That is pretty awesome. So tell me a little bit about your current role and what is it about your role that you are really passionate about?
Well, so first of all, my role is I oversee talent acquisition for the entire company. We are based all over the United States and in Canada.
Wow.
And I oversee a team of talent acquisition professionals. In 2021, or excuse me, 2020, I've been working so hard on saying 2021. In 2020, we actually filled over 470 positions, even with the pandemic going on. We're in a big growth phase right now, a lot of strategy and transformation going on in the company. The company itself, our products are mostly serving either the corrections industry or law enforcement agencies. So part of my passion about my job is about the products that we make. The products that we make, Camille, we're not making Xboxes for people.
Right.
We are making products that will help incarcerated individuals really change their life before they come out and hopefully help reduce their opportunity to return to prison. There's been a lot of studies done around the fact that when people come out of incarceration, they really need to go to their families. And, oftentimes before a person's incarcerated, they've burned a lot of bridges getting there, and sometimes with those loved ones, who care so much about them. And our products really help keep the families connected and kind of rebuild those bonds that will give those individuals someone to come out and start their life over with. So I'm very, very passionate about our products. I'm also really passionate about my team. I have some great, talent that works for me. And, it's important to me as I've been in this industry for such a long time to focus on mentoring them and trying to help them grow, determine if they're doing what they really should be doing, if there's another part of HR they should be in. I've had to say goodbye to a few people that have worked on my team that wanted to venture out into different areas, you included, who wanted to venture out into different areas of HR. And I think that's really important when you're leading people to, to give them the opportunity to do what they want to do and need to do to have their best career as well. So those are kind of some of the things I'm passionate about.
Well, I can tell that you are, Brenda, and I'm so happy to hear that. And I'm glad that you were able to share with our viewers a little bit about what Aventiv Technologies does and how they're really helping the community. So,
Yeah, absolutely.
what do you think? What's your unique skill like that helps you become successful? What do you think that is?
I mean, I think part of it, as far as my success as a leader, is that I truly do lead with a servant's heart. I'm the type of leader who's probably more passionate about helping my team grow individually in their careers. And even, serving the customers that we serve, even though our customers are internal, right? They're the hiring managers. It's still important to treat them, as important as I would an external customer who, we're paying money to help us or something. So I think really it's empathy. It's, leading with a purpose. I would say that those are probably skills that I have that have made me successful at what I do.
Well, I have worked with you. So I can say that I have definitely witnessed the servant's heart, and you definitely pushed me into another avenue of HR. And so I'm definitely appreciative of it because you saw that that was my passion. So thank you so much, Brenda. I really appreciate you. So, what is one common myth about your profession that you think you need to debunk?
So I am currently in a master's degree program.
Awesome.
And I recently had to read an article about why people hate HR. And it was interesting because the author pointed out that a lot of people have this distrust of people in HR, that people in HR are strictly working for the company and they care about the company and the company's bottom dollar. And I just don't believe that's true.
Right.
I think there are some people in HR that do feel that way, but I don't think that is across the board. I think that there are many, many people in HR who do care about the people of the company. And I think those HR professionals that have high levels of empathy and care for, the people that, because I believe we're placed in companies to serve the people. Of course, we do have a responsibility to the company and to making sure that associates inside a company are compliant with, the policies and procedures that a company has set forth. But on the same token, I just don't believe what this gentleman wrote, that everybody in HR is out for, the company and doesn't care about the people. I just don't think that's true.
I don't believe that's true either.
Yeah.
So I'm with you, Brenda. I'm with you all day long.
Yeah.
So, what's one thing you wish you had known when you began your career in HR?
At the time that I started, like I said, it was really more personnel administration versus what it's turned into today. And I don't think anybody 20 years ago could have seen what it was going to become. I mean, I just don't think any of us had the foresight to see it. So I think if I had had a crystal ball that would have told me what the future of HR was going to look like and what type of growth opportunities and potentials there were going to be, what types of things maybe I should have learned more about or studied about. I would have liked to have known that, because there are great leadership roles in HR, and HR is a constantly evolving business. And
Definitely.
so if I was going to give advice to somebody else who's just starting in HR, I mean, I would tell them, absorb everything you can, learn about laws in different states, learn about every facet of HR that you can until you find that spot that's right for you, but sort of become a jack of all trades so that you can eventually excel and grow, you know, to higher levels within HR.
I love it. I love it. That's kind of what I did in my career. I was a jack of all trades. I did a little bit of everything. So I can definitely relate to that. So, can you name three people who have been most influential to you?
Yes. So I'd start with my husband. Got to give credit to my husband because
Yes, he's awesome.
he had a very long career in leadership with one of the largest banks in the world. And so, aside from the fact that he is someone that I can trust when I need advice or when I need to bounce something off someone, he's also extremely supportive of my career and my aspirations for my career and my career goals. And I think that, anyone who has a long or short-term relationship with a partner, having support in your career is really important. So he would by far be the most influential to me.
He's pretty
Second,
awesome.
he is pretty awesome guy. Second would be a boss that I had in San Diego. I am originally from California. I've been in Texas now for almost 20 years, which I cannot believe. But I lived in San Diego, which most people know as a beach town. And I went to work for a gentleman who was a large scale real estate property developer. And he was originally from New York. And wonderful person to work for. Yes, shout out to the New York folks, Camille. And he was a really, really wonderful person to work for. But he had this one stickler, and that was that we had to dress 5 days a week, dress up. And that included pantyhose in a beach town. I mean, what woman likes to wear pantyhose? But 5 days a
No one.
week in a beach town. And I remember going to him one day and asking him, could we try maybe a casual Friday type of thing where, we still wear a nice blouse and, jeans, but we don't have to wear, because he made us wear pantyhose with pants too. He did not want any ankle or skin showing. And he told me absolutely not. He said, no. He said, if you are not dressed for success, you're not going to feel successful yourself. And it's so interesting because at the time, I wasn't really happy that he said that. I thought, but on the same token, it really has stuck with me. And so I do dress for success. And even still, being home now for 10 months, I still get up and dress up for work every day. And it's interesting because at first, like the first week, I tried the casual thing. I tried the yoga pants and the sweatshirt. I didn't feel on top of my game. He was right that it really does change your mindset and makes you feel different about your performance. And so that has stuck with me for over 20 years. And today I still do it and I appreciate the advice. And so definitely an influence on my career that I'm really appreciative to have.
That's
And the
awesome.
third person I would say would be the worst boss I ever had, because what I learned from him was everything I did not want to be in a manager. I had never been in leadership before, but I knew that if I ever got into a leadership position, I would be the total opposite of him. And so I'm thankful today for that really bad manager, because I think he influenced some very positive things that I bring to leadership in my role. So I'm actually thankful for bad leadership.
That's right. You learn something, right? You make flowers out of out of the seeds. So that's pretty
Exactly.
awesome. So I know you
Exactly.
mentioned, individuals who would want to get into this profession, but can you give advice to those who specifically want to enter the talent acquisition space? What advice would you give up and coming TAs?
Sure. I mean, the first thing I would say, and I've said it to other talent acquisition professionals who've worked for me before and who do today, you're a salesperson. Don't forget that. A lot of people don't realize how much being a salesperson is a part of being a talent acquisition professional. Because, first of all, dependent on when you're trying to fill a position, if you're in the middle of a really hot economy and unemployment's very low and candidates are very sparse, they could be talking to you and a few other companies, and you have to sell them not just on the job, but on the why. Why would they rather work for you than work for somebody else down the street? You've got to sell them on not just, things that are really, really important today, like culture and diversity and inclusion, but even on the products themselves. What makes your company stand out over a competitor's so that somebody would be interested in being a part of your organization if it comes down to them getting an offer from another company as well as yours. So having the right sales approach and the passion to sell the why is super important. And passion itself. I mean, to me, if somebody's talking about a job and they're just kind of ho hum about it, I'm not going to feel excited about that opportunity. So you really have to, you have to have that passion. You have to believe in what you are selling, whether it's talent acquisition, and roles in a company or a car. If you don't believe in it, nobody's going to believe in you.
Exactly.
So I really think that it's important to have both passion and a strong sales approach.
I would have to agree. You definitely need to be passionate about it because right now we're in the middle of so much competition. So many different organizations are trying to find the best candidate. So why you? Why now?
Right. Exactly.
Totally understand. So, are there any questions that I should have asked that I didn't?
Not that I can think of, Camille. You're always very just well prepared. You've always been someone who thinks outside the box, and I really like your approach. And so
Thank you
you
so
did a
much.
good job. Yes,
Thank you so much. So, where can viewers connect with you online?
sure. So I'm on LinkedIn as Brenda Siri, just like the app, Siri. And again, I work for Aventiv Technologies, so you can connect with me on LinkedIn. I am also just a reach away from email if you want to email me, and that's B as in Brenda, so B Siri at aventiv.com. And Aventiv is spelled Aventiv, aventiv.com. Also, if you, you know, want to connect with me, I oversee our Glassdoor page. You can leave a message for me there.
Awesome.
So anytime, I'm happy to answer questions, give guidance, whatever is needed, I'm happy to help.
That is so awesome. Again, Brenda, I just want to thank you so much for being my first HR leader in my HR spotlight. I'm super excited to have you on. It has been such a pleasure. You guys, I hope you enjoyed this viewing. And also, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you so much again, Brenda.
Thank you, Camille. I
You're
appreciate you reaching
so
out to me.
welcome.
Have
Have
a
a good
very
one.
good day.
You
Bye-bye.
too. Bye bye.